Alright, so today they are opening the title update 10 PTS and they did release the patch notes for phase 1, so I thought we would go through those. Keep in mind though, this is a PTS, so a lot of it is for testing purpose and a lot of stuff here will be changing. So don't freak out too much, but I mean, if you see or feel like something is out of place or too overtuned or too nerfed, or yeah, you don't like the changes, then of course go to the forum and give your feedback, right? So the first PTS phase is focused on weapon balance, exotics and sidearms balancing is still being worked on and changes will be available in phase 2. Gear set balance, PvP weapon damage and time to kill, difficulty / player power, loot / rewards. If you have thoughts on other aspects of the game, don't hesitate to let us know. The following content will be disabled during the title update 10 PTS and is not accessible to participant. Raid 2, Operation Iron Horse. Iron Horse. It's like I heard this before. Season 2. So that's the only thing that's disabled, the rest is actually on. Like even the gear from the raid is available. So we can see new exotic here and it's a sniper rifle called Mantis. So let's scroll down here. So your scoped view displays additional information about enemies not targeting you. Headshot and weak point damage against enemies not targeting you amplified by 50%. And as you know, amplified is multiplicative, so that's a pretty crazy bonus actually. Headshot kills reset the cooldown of the decoy skill. This bonus will wait until a decoy goes on cooldown if currently active. So this seems to be a sniper rifle to be used with decoy skill. And also focus on headshot and weak point damage. And I mean, I gotta say I'm a big fan of this. And you get the bonus damage if they are not focusing you. But yeah, this sounds really interesting, and all the exotics and all that, I will be testing this live on twitch.tv/widdz, most likely when you're watching this video, because I'm recording this like 1.5 hours before the server goes live, and I'm planning to go live as soon as I got this video out, so yeah. Then we have a mask called While. Status effect also apply a damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. Total damage dealt is equal to the 50% of your concussion grenade damage and increased by your status effect attributes. So yeah, this seems pretty crazy actually. I mean, I'm not sure how much damage it's gonna do though, but damage over time, and I mean, this is gonna be really good for status effect builds. A bit scared how this will work in PvP though, but there are some changes to that too, so let's just keep going. Double barrel rifle, the Ravenous. On trigger pull, fire both barrels at once. When fired from the right shoulder, hits adds offensive primers and defensive primers when fired from the left shoulder. Hits from one shoulder will detonate all of the opposite shoulder primers when present. When detonated, each offensive primer deals 100% weapon damage, while each defensive primer grants 4% bonus armor and 10% amplified damage to armor plates for 5 seconds. 10% amplified damage to armor plates for 5 seconds. So I guess this just means that it does 10% more damage to armor, or only NPCs that have armor plates. Primer effectiveness is double at 10 stacks. So this one got leaked before as well. It's from the raid, this is supposed to be from the raid. I kind of like this left and right shoulder though. It's probably kind of annoying to play with it though, but I think it's a cool concept at least. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this out later. I think exotics weapons gonna be a priority today. So yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it too much now, but get back to it probably in the next video. And we see how it works. Then we have a Magnum Revolver called Regulus. Headshot kills create a 5-meter explosion, dealing 400 weapon damage and applying bleed to all enemies hit. High base damage. This sounds like something fun to use though. It's like similar to Destiny, they have... if you hit a headshot, I think, or precision hit, then you get an explosion. I can't remember what it's called, but you guys probably know. But yeah, this could be interesting to use as well. Like, I'm a big fan of exotics that really change the gameplay experience. I mean, that's the point of exotics as well. They're not supposed to be best in slot. They're supposed to play different and change your gameplay. So, yeah, I mean, I think this sounds pretty good. I mean, gotta see in the PTS, right? Because we can't test all the exotics. Developer comment. The Ravenous and Regulars are exclusive to the upcoming Operation Iron Horse, but are present on the PTS for balancing and feedback purpose. Because I think they said that they really wanted the raid gear to be worth grinding for, so the gear sets and the exotic coming from there should be like good and not feel like a bad reward. New gear sets. Eclipse Protocol, Core, Skill Tier Yellow. So 2-piece is 15 status effect, 3-piece is 15 skill haste, and 30% hazard protection. That's a strong 3-piece. Indirect transmission. Enemies that dies while affected by your status effect, spread those status effects to another enemy within 15 meters and refresh 50% the duration. So that sounds kind of fun actually, like just dots and you're spreading it around and refreshing. So yeah. Shiz talent Proliferation. Increase indirect transmission range from 50 meters to 20 meters and refresh percentage from 50 to 75%. Which seems to be a pretty decent buff. Like you get 5 more meters. And I mean, that's a radius, so that's kind of big. Like it doesn't sound too much, but that's gonna increase it quite a lot. And then we have more refresh as well, 25%. So I mean, that's definitely worth, I think at least, by looking at it. Backpack talent Symptom Aggravator amplifies all damage you deal to status effect targets by 15%. That's pretty strong, dude. 15% multiplicative damage. Foundry Bulwark, that sounds tanky. And the core is armor blue. So 2% is 10% armor. 3-piece is 3% armor regen. Oh, damn, we can make some armor regen builds with this. Because 3% is pretty high, especially if you look at the other gear pieces. Like, I think 3% is what you could get by almost using all of the pieces that give you armor regen. So this sounds pretty interesting. 4-piece Makeshift repairs. Whenever you or your shield take damage, 40% of that amount is repaired to both over 10 seconds. So they do 100 damage on you, then 40 damage will get repaired, right? Over 10 seconds. Okay, I mean, that seems actually pretty fair. Shiz talent increase makeshift repairs from 40 to 60%. Backpack talent improve materials, increase makeshift repair speed from 10 seconds to 6. Okay, that's pretty crazy. So 60% on 6 seconds. Now this sounds kind of fun for a tank though, but it kind of feels a bit selfish compared to True Patriot, right? But you can definitely tank like crazy with this. I wonder how this will work in PvP though. But yeah, that seems like a pretty cool set as well. Future Initiative. And this is another yellow skill tier set. So 2-piece is 15 repair skill, 3-piece is 15 skill duration and skill haste, and 4-piece is called Ground Control. Increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15% when at full armor. When you repair an ally, you and all allies within 5 meters of you are also repaired for 60% of that amount. Chest talent, increase ground control damage from 15% to 25%. Backpack talent increases ground control proximity repair from 60% to 120. Okay, so if you are stacked and you heal one guy, everybody will heal. So that's pretty good for healing, actually. Once again, this sounds really crazy for PvP. But yeah, it doesn't sound too bad either. I mean, a lot of these sound good, but we gotta test them in game and you gotta get some time and see how they work though. But I think all of them sounds pretty cool. So that's the new gear sets, and I assume all of these are gonna come from the raid. We will be able to test this on PTS though. Then we have a new gear brand. So Walker, Harris and Company. Weapon damage red focus. So 1-piece is 5 weapon damage, 2-piece is 5% damage to armor, and 3-piece 5% damage to health. This is a pretty strong set, I gotta say. Like the 2-piece alone, it's really strong. Like 5% weapon damage and 5% damage to armor. Then again, compared to like assault rifle and all those, they have 10% weapon damage on the first piece though, right? But kind of the 2-piece helps you with that. And if you're doing an AR build, for example, if you skip the crit and you would go 1 Fenris, you could still like take 2-piece of Walker and Harris in there as well. Wait, so this is the only new gear brand? They gotta be more on the way though, right? New talents. Future Perfect. Weapon kills grants 1 skill tier for 15 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times. Wait, you get 3 skill tiers then? Weapon kills at skill tier 6, it grants overcharge for 15 seconds. Overcharge cooldown is 19 seconds. So this is gonna be perfect for hybrid builds. So let's say you go 2 yellow, so 2 skill tier, right? And then you play Technician, which means you get another skill tier. So then you have 3 skill tier. And then you use this, and you can stack it up to skill tier 6. I mean, probably you wanna have it 3, so it will scale up all the way to overcharge though, probably. But yeah, this sounds crazy good for hybrids. That's gonna be interesting for sure, and that's probably gonna change a lot how you build, especially for solo play. This seems really strong for a weapon talent. Weapon talent in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 15 skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 15 weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So that's another like hybrid talent as well. So skill damage and weapon damage. And if you have them active, instead of 15%, you get 30%, which is pretty damn strong. Backpack talent, Adrenaline Rush. When you are within 10 meters of an enemy, gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times, so 60% at max. Cooldown is 5 seconds. So basically, you rush into 3 enemies, you will get 60% bonus armor. And this is a backpack talent, which means you could use the chest talent. What is it called again? The one that gives you like 35% amplified damage when you're close. Like that's gonna be pretty good synergy. Chest talent, Headhunter. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals 125% of that killing blow's damage in addition to it. This damage is capped to 1500 of your weapon damage. This talent just sounds fucking amazing, dude. Like this sounds so good and so fun to use in PvE, right? Hopefully, like, they fix it for PvP. I'm not worried about that. But PvE-wise, you play, like, Nemesis, for example, or you play the new Sniper. You kill an enemy, and the next hit you hit with the gun, you deal 125 of that killing blow damage. So I assume the hit that kills is the 125% of the damage you're gonna get. So, I mean, doing a one-shot Sniper build with this is gonna be insanely fun. Gameplay changes. Mission. Reduce how many elites will spawn in following missions. So just reducing those. Not gonna pay too much attention to that because I don't think that interests myself and you guys too much. But yeah, we'll check it through though. Loot, add all new Season 2 weapon gear to general loot pool. Target loot, increase the loot. Just increasing drops here a lot in Dark Zone. And the exotics here, add the Warlords of New York / Season 1 exotics, excluding Bighorn to target loot. And I guess excluding as well the Eagle Bearer as well. Keep that in mind. Like Eagle Bearer and the Bighorn kind of goes hand in hand there. Remove the control points. I guess this is interesting for a lot of you guys. So they remove the regular weapon / gear loot container to not scale with control points. And they increase the big one that you can open like every 24 hours, the yellow one. So that will have that loot in it. So you won't get any more purples while doing control points. Increase the loot for Legendary, for Veterans and Elite, so hopefully that makes Legendary feel more worth to grind. And I mean, I think if you can really master Legendary, if you like insanely good group, you do it fast, the Legendary should be the one you farm in terms of most efficiency, excluding like target loot. So hopefully that will help with that. Added named items to both open well and dark zone vendors. Increased price for named items. Increased item quality for all vendors. I'm not sure what this means, if they're gonna buff them again, because they are kind of weak right now. Vendors no longer sell superior quality items at max level. SHD levels. Added field proficiency cash to SHD level up, so just like before, I guess. After you're done with the season, okay. Increased crafting materials reward for spending SHD level points in the scavenging category. That's nice quality of life. Conflict. Added season / SHD experience gain on conflict level up. That's good too. Rogue agent encounters. Every rogue agent killed will now drop loot. Rogue agent encounters no longer occur during time trials. So that's good changes as well. Control point officers. Player revived by a control point officer will now have 80% of their armor restored, previously 0. That's good as well. Reduce the likelihood of control point officer being downed in combat. Bounties. Bounties acquired by speaking to characters in the open world will always be set to the difficulty at time of acquisition or higher. That's good, because nothing worse than playing on heroic and you would get a normal bounty. Like, you would just not do it. So this is a good quality of life change. This affects the snitch and the civilians rescued during the public execution or rescue living world activities. Scheduled bounties such as daily and clan bounties are unaffected. Then we have a project. So new season pass holder project slot. Season pass holders now have access to an exclusive daily mission which provides a large bonus to experience. Then we have a weekly SHD project. Endgame players at World Tier 5 and level 4, they now have a weekly supply donation project which rewards them with an exotic cash. So pretty similar to Division 1, I guess. You would get exotic cash from legendaries. This adds like one project for that. Then we have a legendary mission project. So after title update 10, completing any legendary will grant you the weekly legendary mission project slot. Completing this will give you an exotic cache. So that's basically like Division 1. You complete the legendary mission, bam, you get exotic cache. PvP, this is a first pass at addressing time to kill in PvP through global individual weapon damage adjustment, and it's not necessarily representative of final values. Well, we will be closely monitoring PTS 1 feedback in order to make further adjustment as needed, with additional tuning plan for PTS 2. So if you like PvP, then try it out and give your opinion. Or even if you watch people stream, if you can't try it out, like give them your opinion. Because there's some changes there to the damage. So let's look at it. So global modifiers, this is only for PvP. Increase the sniper PvP weapon damage by 12%. Reduce global PvP weapon damage by 20%. So keep that in mind. All PvP weapon damage is reduced by 20%. And assault rifle is getting an additional 15% nerf. Rifles 5%. SMG 10%. So a lot of just lowering the damage. The only thing here that's getting a buff is snipers. And I think they were really weak. So I think this is fine. As long as like... I think snipers should be all about headshots. They shouldn't be like good if you hit body shots though. But like headshots, they should be strong. Skill modifiers, they reduce the bleed damage from Stinger, High, Mortar Turret and Explosive Seeker Mine by 75%. That's crazy. But the bleed was way too strong. And something like I'm seeing here is that once again weapon damage is getting a huge nerf, and hopefully there is some fix to status effect, because they definitely know about that, but I'm sure we check this and we're gonna see that. So weapon specific, increased double barrel damage by 20%. I saw this earlier and I was a little bit I don't know, 20%. I'm a bit scared of this, like double barrel. We don't want it to go back to how strong it was before, but it should also be possible to use it though. Reduce pestilence by 10% and M1A getting a 5% nerf as well. Developer comment, with title update 10 there have been significant buffs made to the base damage of assault rifles, SMGs and shotguns in particular. In order to prevent those weapons from becoming overly powerful in PvP, we had to lower their PvP damage modifier to compensate. So keep that in mind, like they got buffs before and that's why they're getting nerfs now. Assault rifles are still tuned to be 10% stronger than default in PvP in order to compensate for their damage to health bonus being less useful against other players when compared to other weapon archetypes. That's true. Health damage is really weak in PvP. Additional PvP balance adjustment coming in PTS 2. So negotiated dilemma, reduce the range at which marked targets can damage each other when critical hit. This is for PvP only. Wonder how much reduced they got though. I can live with that as long as it's not like 5 meters. It gotta be like at least a 20-30 meter radius, at least, right, from each player. Added visual UI feedback when in range of another marked target. Then we have the holster. No longer automatically applies the burn status effect to the nearest enemy in range. Now requires maintaining range and line of sight for 3 seconds between the holster, barrel and the nearest enemy before applying the burn status effect. I mean, that seems a bit more fair. Still, I think it's still like really strong. But at least like 3 seconds, and I mean, depending on the range, if the range is kind of close, then it should be fine. But if you can like watch them 100 meters away, then of course it's still like kind of broken. But yeah, this seems like a decent fix. We'll see though. Added visual UI feedback to reveal the radius of the effect in PvP and indicator for loss between the holster, barrel and nearest enemy. But yeah, I mean, as long as the range is decent, this should be a decent fix, I think. Because 3 seconds, that's a lot of time for you to pressure the guy using this holster, right? Because before they would have like free amount of time to just pressure you, right? So now kind of reverse there, which it should be. Pestilence, Plug of the Outcast damage over time effect no longer triggers True Patriot White debuff. Finally, perfect. Thank you so much. Weapon balance, weapon handling changes. So 1% weapon handling now gives 1% weapon accuracy, stability, reload speed, and swap speed. So that was 0.25. So this is a huge buff. Huge buff. Basically 4 times stronger. Reduce the maximum amount of weapon handling rolled on gear by 4% to a maximum of 10. So that's really strong. I mean, nobody goes weapon handling, and I think I think the weapons itself are, most of them are like, you don't need weapon landing, right? So I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I mean, it's not getting used, so sure, it makes sense they buff it. But I would have liked the game to have more recoil and such as Division 1. If you go back and play Division 1 and you try like LVA or lightweight M4, even the house, like you will notice how much more recoil Division 1 have than this. Like the house, I felt like had no recoil back when we played Division 1. But it got way more recoil than the guns in this game. Except Eagle Bearer, I guess. The developer comment, in current meta, weapon handling on gear is considered dead stat. True, true, true. So yeah. Weapon damage changes. Developer comment, sidearm and exotics are still being adjusted. Okay, so this is just a lot of specific buffs here. So almost all of the weapons are getting buffed, as we can see here. Just scroll through quick. Like damage increase, damage increase. None of these are getting a damage decrease. So all of these are getting buffed, basically. Maybe I missed something now, but it's mainly all of the guns except the meta guns are getting buffed. All LMGs are getting buffed. Some are not getting changes. Oh, yeah. One gun so far out of all of these are getting a nerf, and that's MG5. And it's only the infantry MG5 as well. The normal MG5 keeps the same. A lot of the snipers getting buffed. All of them, actually. Except SVD. Not sure about this, though. It's just a little nerf here, but maybe that's fine. With all of the other changes, I imagine that would be. All the rifles are getting buffed as well. Huge buff to this gun right here, 1886, so that might be interesting. Where is Classic M1A? So M1A Classic 1 is getting a 12.6 damage decrease. MK17 as well, actually, and MDR. Even the USC is getting a decrease. Huh. I never thought this gun was that good. MDR was like decent, okay. MK17 was pretty good. M1A was, of course, broken. But I'm not sure about the other ones, but I mean, they probably shake the stats, so it should make sense. Tommy gun, 40% increase, almost like huge increases on the SMG here. All of them getting buffed as well. Shotguns, all of them getting buffed too. So there's not a double barrel buff here, as far as I can see. But it did get buffed in PvP, so maybe that's fine then. Gear set changes, man. Okay, we're getting close to the end, but this is gonna be a long video. But it's a lot of juicy information though, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Because I'm definitely enjoying this. I love patch notes. So gear set changes. Ongoing directive, main talent. Hollow point ammo is no longer dropped on kill and instead automatically added to your active weapon when killing status afflicted enemies. That's good. You don't have to pick it up. Even though I thought the backpack talent was really cool when it picked it up for you, this is just gonna make it a little bit better and easier to play. So they added a new backpack talent because of it. Increase the duration of your bleed status effect by 50% and all bleed damage down by 100%. Increase the 3-piece reload speed from 20 to 30. That's a pretty strong backpack, actually. 50% longer duration and 100% more damage. That's probably gonna make some bleed builds pretty good out there. Tip of despair. Aggressive recon weapon damage buff is now gained when dealing specialization weapon damage instead of specialization weapon killed. Yeah, that's better, easier to play. Main talent for PvP. Aggressive recon weapon damage buff is now gained when dealing grenade damage instead of a grenade kill. Backpack talent. Signature move. Increase specialization weapon damage by 20% and doubles the amount of specialization ammo generated by aggressive recon. I think this is the right way to do it. Like when I play this, I want to play this gear set just to play my specialization weapon. Back when I tested this set, it didn't really feel like that was the case, right? And I even said in my video that it would be nice if they would double the amount that you would get ammo-wise. And that's exactly what they're doing now. You get less damage, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure by that. But yeah, you get more ammo. This is perfect. Good change for sure. Aces and eights. Main talent poker face. Backpack talent is now a baseline effect. Flip an additional card on headshot. Backpack talent new. Ace in sleeve amplifies 1 extra shot when revealing your hand. System corruption. Main talent now repairs 20% of your armor in addition to granting 50% bonus armor. This is good. This is good. Increase total weapon damage by 1% per 5% bonus armor gained up to 20%. if you have 50 bonus armor, you get 10 weapon damage, right? If you use the backpack, so you get 100%, then you get 20% damage as well. Okay, this is a big buff, actually. For PvP, this is a big buff. This might actually make it really good now. Like, you get 20% of your armor. You stack some armor repair on this as well. You probably get even more. Yeah, I mean, this is... Okay, this is a big buff. I felt like this set was not that good and not my liking because it was only bonus armor, but this is huge buff. Maybe even too strong. We will see. But I like that they added this, though. I'm not sure if the weapon damage is needed, though, to be honest. I don't think the weapon damage is needed. Maybe take this away and keep this, like maybe 25, like 30%, and focus on that. Like, making it to give you damage as well. It's pretty crazy. I don't know how long you will keep the damage here, though, if it is for the duration you have the bonus armor, or if it's another duration. I assume it's the amount. Like, I assume if you have a 100% bonus armor, you get 20%. You drop down to 50 bonus armor, then you have 10%. You lose the bonus armor, you lose it completely. Then I guess it could be fine. But still, not a big fan of giving you both defensive and damage. Striker battle gear. Reduce the number of stacks lost on missed shots from 3 to 2. That's good. Backpack talent. No longer reduce numbers of stack lost on missed shots. New. Increase total weapon damage gained per stack of Striker's Gamble from 0.5 to 0.65. So basically this means on full stacks you will get 65% damage instead of 50. So 15% more damage basically on full stacks. Don't think I would use this actually. But at least this one is better than the other backpack talent was, though, because now you get that for free. Brand set changes. So Overlord 2-piece accuracy to 20%. Yeah, a lot of these needs huge buffs, and they are doing that, so that's good. DH 2-piece 20%, 20% stability accuracy, reload speed 20%, just 10% like overall. Seems good because I mean, even with this, I'm not sure if you're gonna use it, but at least now it gives you a pretty huge chunk of buff, though. Talent changes. Leadership bonus armor increased to 15% from 12. Spike skill damage duration increased from 15 to 8. So a lot of buffs here overall. Creeping Death no longer goes on cooldown if there are no valid nearby enemies to apply a status effect to. Status effect applied now properly copy the source status effect damage and duration. So this is huge. This was pretty bugged before as far as I know. Skill changes. When shock trap's active duration ends, its cooldown is refounded an equal number of seconds that it was active. Stinger High Mortar Turret and Explosive Seeker Mine now display its bleed damage and duration. And then there's a lot of bug fixes. And I feel like this video is so freaking long. So I'm just gonna scroll down here. Try to do this quick because I hate videos being too long. But of course, this is a lot of information. I don't want to stress the information out to you guys. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of bug fixes here. I scrolled down before I started the video just to see. So yeah, you can pause the video here if you want to check it. It's just a lot of stuff. I'm trying to look through quickly if I see anything, but Striker battle gear not counting shotgun pellets individually for stacking. Oh, so that was a bug, so that's fixed now. Okay, shotgun is back with Striker Pog. Okay, we're gonna do a Division 1 build in Division 2, just for funs of it. Because that was my plan before. But yeah, this is basically it. And I mean, I didn't expect much for Title Update 10, but some pretty good stuff here. This is only phase 1, but I liked the exotics. I liked a lot of the changes to gear sets. The new gear set sounded cool. The PvP changes, time to kill and all that, it seems pretty damn good. So yeah, I kind of want to end this video and edit the video and then go live and check it out. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you are interested in more Division 2 videos, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see me testing all this stuff live, then head to twitch.tv/widdz. And yeah, let's chill a bit and check out the PTS.